Morning everyone. Today we will discuss our topic, the propaganda movement and La Solidaridad. A quick background: in the 19th century, nagsugod ang conflict when they placed regular priests in the parochial in the Philippines. So ang nahitabo, secular priests became more attentive sa ilang rights and nagpropose sila og secularization of the parochial diri sa Pilipinas. Mauni ang movement para sa greater rights sa mga Pilipino nga pari. Gisugdan ni Father Pedro Pilais ang iyang movement, and sa iyang pagkamatay, tulo ka secular priest named Father Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora, or better known as Gomborza, ang nag-take over para i-continue ang movement. And then, nahitabo nga mutiny sa Cavite, ug sila ang gi-accuse nga nagpasimuno sa revolt, ang tungod aning giparusahan sila og gipatay. The immoral killing of Gomborza helped the Filipinos, especially ang Ilustrados, nga mag-form og movement nga nag-aim to seek reforms and para ma-inform sab ang Spain sa mga abuses nga nahitabo sa ilang colonial government sa Pilipinas. As a result, propaganda movement was created. It was led by the Ilustrados. Mauni sila ang forefront sa propaganda movement. Sila Jose Rizal, Graciano Lopez Haina, and Marcelo H. del Pilar. Ilang gi-organize ang propaganda movement as a peaceful crusade for reform. When the Ilustrados came to Spain, ilang na-realize nga naay privileges ang mga Pilipino sa Spain nga wala nakita sa Pilipinas, such as freedom and independence. Tungod sa ilang pagka-liberal-minded, they began to understand the injustices and inequalities, and ilang itry og address kini nga mga deplorable conditions didto sa Spanish monarchy para ma-apply tong freedom and privileges sa mga Pilipinos sa Pilipinas. So kani sila nga mga patriots ginatawag og propagandist kay ginabayadan nila ang ilang movement by means of pen and tongue para ma-expose og ma-remedy ang mga kakulangan and sa mga evils of Spanish rule sa Pilipinas. So the aims of propaganda movement is first, equality of Filipinos and the Spaniards before the law. Because in the 19th century, walay equality ang Filipinos ug ang Spaniards. Kung black skin o flat nose ang isa ka Filipino, then you are inferior in the eyes of the law. So gidesire nila ni nga reform para ma-stop ang discrimination at para ma-promote ang equality. Second is the assimilation of the Philippines as a regular province of Spain. Maong ilang aim lang kay assimilation, not really complete independence, is because assimilation would mean that if the Philippines is mahimong province of Spain, it will put the Filipinos in equal footing with the Spaniards, either they are in Spain or in the Philippines. Kaya according ni Rizal and some other patriots, whatever are the rights and privileges granted to the Spaniards in Spain and in the Philippines would also be given to the Filipinos in the Philippines. Third is the restoration of the Philippine representation in the Cortes. So interrelated gyapon ni sa first and second aim because before naatay representation in the Spanish Cortes, but due to that change of decision kay nay mga incidents nga nahitabo sa past that allowed the Spanish law-making body of Spain nga i-stop ang representation. The reason nga nung ilan yung gidesire nga reform because if naatay representation sa Cortes, then Filipinos can now voice out their needs and concerns about their conditions in the Philippines, and it will also be raised in the Spanish Cortes. By doing so, the Spanish monarchy in Spain would hear our concerns and plight of the ordinary Filipinos nga wala equal protection and justice sa law and other injustices and oppressions committed by the Spaniards in the Philippines. Fourth is the Filipinization or secularization of Philippine parishes and expulsion of the friars. Ang only aim sa mga Filipino nga pare is to give opportunity sa mga pare to man the parishes so that a more distinct and more fitting role of the Catholic faith will be given to the Filipinos. By doing so, the Filipinos, especially sa mga pare, will take part in the administration of the religious affairs in the country. Last but not the least is the individual liberties for the Filipinos. Kung musaksid ang mga previous nga aims, the Filipinos will be assimilated to Spain, represented in the Cortes, and naatay equal opportunities and privileges being granted by Spain, then the kind of independence and freedom that the Filipinos deserve should be given to them in the 19th century. So the propagandists are from the middle-class families representing the group of Filipino intelligentsia. Kabilang ani is sila Jose Rizal. He is the greatest novelist of the movement. He wrote his poetical masterpiece entitled Mi Ultimo Adios, or My Last Farewell, Noli Me Tangere in 1887, and El Filibusterismo in 1891. Next is si Marcelo H. Del Pilar of Bulacan. He is a lawyer and journalist, beloved by the masses for his eloquent Tagalog and fearless defense of the poor against friar abuses. Si Graciano Lopez Haina, he is the greatest orator of the propaganda movement. And the other propagandists are Mariano Ponce, a medical student and biographical writer; Juan Luna, the master of the brush; Felix Resurrección Hidalgo, also the master of the brush; Dr. Pedro A. Paterno, a lawyer and a man of letters; Antonio Luna, a pharmacist and essayist; Pedro Serrano Lactao, a teacher and tutor; Jose Mariano Panganiban, a linguist and essayist; Fernando Canon, an engineer and musician; Jose Alejandrino, also an engineer and political writer; Isabelo de los Reyes, a folklorist, newspaperman and scholar; and Dominador Gomez, a physician and orator.
So La Solidaridad is the official organ, magazine, or newspaper of the propaganda movement. So Graciano Lopez Haina served as the founder and the first editor. So the first issue was published in Barcelona, Spain on February 15, 1889. And La Solidaridad was printed in Barcelona from February 15 to October 31, 1889 until its last issue on November 15, 1895. So because of its 7 years of existence, it became the principal organ of the propaganda movement. So due to insufficiency of funds, the La Solidaridad was ended in November 15, 1895. So ang most subject sa mga articles ng La Solidaridad ay ang attack sa mga friars at mga pang-aabuso ng mga Spanish colonial officials sa mga Pilipino. So on December 1889, Marcelo H. Del Pilar replaced Jaena as its editor, remaining as such until the demise of La Solidaridad on November 15, 1895 after an existence of 7 years. The focus of the article was more on demands of social and political reforms in the Philippines. So if you want to know why Rizal declined his position in La Solidaridad, simply because he knew that there were Pilaristas who did not like either his views or personality. So Pilaristas are those mga tao na instructed by Del Pilar. So nung nalaman niya na there are Pilaristas, he courteously declined the position. So in the last issue of La Solidaridad, Marcelo H. Del Pilar wrote his farewell editorial saying, "We are persuaded that no sacrifices are too little to win the rights and the liberty of the nation that is oppressed by slavery." So this is the editorial of the first issue of La Solidaridad. So our aspirations are modest, very modest. Our program, aside from being simple, is clear: to combat reaction, to stop all retroaggressive steps, to extol and adopt liberal ideas, to defend progress, in a word, to be a propagandist, above all, of democratic ideas in order to make the supreme in all nations here and across the seas. So the aims, therefore, of La Solidaridad as described as to collect, to gather libertarian ideas which are manifested daily in the field of politics, science, art, literature, commerce, agriculture, and industry. So we shall also discuss all problems relating to the general interest of the nation and seek solutions to those problems in high-level and democratic manner. So with regard to the Philippines, since she needs the most help, not being represented in the Cortes, we shall pay particular attention to the defense of her democratic rights, the accomplishment of which is our patriotic duty. The nations of 8 million souls should not and must not be exclusive preserve of theocracy and traditionalism. So these are the aims of La Solidaridad. The first one is to work for political and social reforms peacefully. The second, to present the sad conditions in the Philippines so that Spain can remedy them. The third one is to oppose the evil influences of reaction and outmoded beliefs and practices. The fourth one is to advocate liberal ideas and progress. And the last one is to champion the most aspirations of the Filipinos to life, democracy, and happiness. So these are the pen names of the members of the La Solidaridad. So Marcelo H. Del Pilar as Plaridel, Jose P. Rizal as Dimas Alang or Laong Laan, Graciano Lopez Haina as Diego Laura. So Mariano Ponce as Naning, Tikbalang or Kalipulaco, Antonio Luna as Tagailog, at Jose Panganiban as Humapa.
Filipinos dentro de 100 años. It is a Spanish word which means Philippine in 100 years. This essay was published in La Solidaridad, starts by analyzing the various causes of the miseries suffered by the Filipino people. Dr. Rizal wrote this essay to forecast the future of the country within 100 years. So this essay is a prediction of Rizal of the Philippines within or after 100 years. So it answers a lot of questions, like the questions you can see on the monitor. Will the Philippine Islands continue to be a Spanish colony? And if so, what kind of colony? Will they become a province of Spain, with or without autonomy? And to reach this stage, what kind of sacrifices will have to be made? Will they be separated from the mother country to live independently, to fall into the hands of the other nations, or to ally themselves with neighboring powers? Next is the sobre la indolencia de los Filipinas. It is also a Spanish word which means the indolence of the Filipino people. It is the longest essay wrote by Rizal and published in La Solidaridad on July 15, 1890. This essay is to defend Filipinos against the accusation of Mr. Sanciano that the Filipinos are indolent. Indolent means lazy. This is due to the observation of Mr. Sanciano to a Filipino farmer who was having a siesta at 9 o'clock in the morning because he has already done on his work. So as you can see on the monitor, the essay rationally countered the accusation by Spaniards that Filipino were indolent during the Spanish reign. So Rizal then explained the alleged Filipino indolence by pointing to these factors. First is the galleon trade destroyed the previous links of the Philippines with other countries in Asia and Middle East, thereby eradicating small local businesses and handicraft industries. Second is the Spanish forced labor, compelled the Filipinos to work shipyards, roads, and other public works, thus abandoning their agricultural farms and industries. And the last one is that many people become landless and wanderers because Spain did not defend them against pirates and foreign invaders. So next is the failure of the propaganda movement. So the failure of the propaganda movement was not put into waste because the ideas of freedom and justice which it sowed paved on the ground for the Philippine Revolution that the Katipunan and Andres Bonifacio began in the hills of Balintawak in August 1896. The factors of the failure of propaganda movement is lack of unity among the propagandists. This is also because the conflicts between Lopez Haina and Del Pilar, and also the conflict of Rizal and Del Pilar. Second is the lack of funds. Third is that there is no strong leader aside from Rizal. And the last one is that the Spanish government did not agree to any of its sentiments. So, after the failure of the propaganda movement, Rizal thought that there is also a need to come up with a civic organization which would focus on the social aspects of the Filipinos. So, while Rizal is living in Hong Kong, he conceived the idea of establishing a civic association composed of Filipino. Then he called it the Liga Filipina, which means Philippine League. He wrote this constitution with the help of Jose Maria Basa, an exile of 1872. After finishing the constitution, he returned to Manila. So the La Liga Filipina, founded by Rizal on July 3, 1892 at Ilaya Street in Tondo. The constitution was written in Hong Kong with the help of Jose Maria Basa, and the motto of La Liga Filipina is Unos Instar Omnium, which means one like all.
Aims of the League. The Constitution states, first, union of the Philippine Archipelago into a compact and homogeneous body or ang pagkakaisa ng ating bansa. Second, mutual protection of the members. Third, defense from violence and to have justice. Fourth, encouragement of education, agricultural, and commerce. Lastly, study and application of reforms. The officers and members of the League. President, Ambrosio Salvador. Fiscal, Agustin de la Rosa. Treasurer, Bonifacio Arevalo. Secretary, Diodato Arellano. Members, Andres Bonifacio, Apolinario Mabini, Mamerto Natividad, Ambrosio Rianzares Bautista, Jose Edison, Domingo Franco, Timoteo Paez, Arcado del Rosario, Numeriano Adrano, Doroteo Onjonco, Moises Salvador, and Timoteo Lanoza. End of the propaganda movement. The writings of Jose Rizal like the El Filibusterismo, Noli Me Tangere, and La Liga Filipina are one of the reasons of the People's Rebellion against the Spaniards. However, it became the reason of Rizal's arrest on July 6, 1892 and his exile to Dapitan, Zamboanga del Norte, ordered by Governor General Despojol. His exile became the last song of greatness of the propaganda movement, and also the La Liga Filipina collapsed. After the collapse, Apolinario Mabini and other members tried to revive the League, but failed because some of the members, including Andres Bonifacio, believed that it was useless to expect reforms from the Spaniards, and that's why La Solidaridad reached its pointless end. Andres Bonifacio did not join the Cuerpo de Compromisarios, which means the pledge to continue supporting La Solidaridad because of his radical views that the happiness, freedom, and welfare of the Filipino people will not be achieved by peaceful requests for reforms but violent revolution. So this is one of the reasons why the Katipunan was built.